Okay, so you know a little bit about this life change experiment that we're conducting here.
Yeah.
And you do intuitive style reading as well, don't you?
Yeah.
Have you got any thoughts about what we're doing, about that spring to mind? Any advice? Any actions? Anything?
Yeah. Don't plan it. Don't plan it. And if you find yourself that you have an agenda for what you're doing, let go of the agenda and just be completely in the flow. I mean, what you're doing, and you've explained to me that you want to just be in the flow. And what does the flow mean? The flow means being in the present. It's like a river, a river flows, and whatever's in that river will flow that way. And you're trying to get into that flow, and that when you're in that flow, life becomes graceful, it becomes effortless. It doesn't become effortful, it becomes effortless. So what do we know about that flow? The flow is the present moment. But what do we know about the present moment? It's right now. So how can you have how can you plan that? How can you have a structure for that? You can't. Sure, the flow has got a structure, but that structure comes through you and through what you're doing in the moment.
So if you're trying to live in flow, and you obviously have to put things together. Let's say, for instance, with the experiment we're on, we've had all these wonderful opportunities arise, and these people offering, come see us, I'll help you with this, I'll help you with that. Now, even the act of saying come and see us will take a form of planning to go, right, well, that means we've got to go to Newcastle first and then to Bundaberg. How does that relate to just being in the flow? Why shouldn't we just get in the van and press the accelerator and go?
Well, it's very simple. I mean, like this weekend, I'm flying down to Melbourne to do my program, my weekend program. Sure, I need to book a flight, okay? And that flight was booked in the present moment. I wasn't thinking to myself, well, I'm not. It's not like I'm sitting there and having a backup plan and thinking if the flight doesn't arrive, or I'm not sitting there thinking about it. And I'm in the flow. So when I arrive at the airport, if the flight is cancelled, then I'll just see whatever shows up next. I don't have the next step. That's the point that you should get across. It's just the flow is taking the next step. But the ego needs to see 100 steps ahead. But we will see the next step once we've taken the next step. The next step will reveal itself.
So would you suggest to people that in training themselves to be able to do this better, rather than saying, because it's really hard for the average person to just stay in the moment, in the flow and plan nothing, especially a busy person if they've got lots of kids and they've got to organise picking up at school, and they've got to figure out who they're going out with on a date and where they're going to go, and all the usual stuff people deal with. Yeah. Would you say that the trick is to try and just to shorten your expectations of what's going to happen to start with?
It's someone who's running a day-to-day a business or a family. It's just about getting clear about what's got to be done. Even like when I look at what bills I've got to pay, well, it's just getting clear about what bills need to be paid for. It's not about how that happens. I mean, how many times has what you've planned gone to plan? Yeah. And most of the times you plan for something and it doesn't actually go to plan. So I'm not saying don't get clear. Get clear about what's got to be done. I've got to get clear. I'm flying to Melbourne on this weekend, and the following weekend I'm flying to Brisbane. I'm clear about that. But I'm not there. Once I've planned it, it's done. Or once I've put the date in the diary and I've booked the flight, it's done. I'm not then staying there going, what if this happens? What if that does happen? Well, I should have a backup plan. You see, everything else goes out the window. See, the problem with most people is that they will stay with that plan. It's like, and they'll start thinking about, well, what if this doesn't go to plan? The thing is, when you set an outcome like that and you stay there, fear comes into your life, and you're thinking, what if I fail? What if I miss that? What if I? But if you're allowing yourself to be in the moment, you book something. You like, for example, your flight, or this day, this is what's got to happen. But you let go of it. You're back in the present. You're not staying in the future or the past.
So some people would say that you are irresponsible because you suggest that you should have no backup plans for things in life. What would you say about that?
Look, I'm not telling anyone what to do. Okay? If you feel like you need to have a backup plan, then by all means have a backup plan. But I don't feel like I need a backup plan. People say, well, do you save for a rainy day? I say, well, if there's money there, then there's money there. But if there's no money in my bank account because I haven't saved for a rainy day, well, when the rainy day comes, I'll get an umbrella with the rainy day. You know, I'm not saying anyone should be doing anything that I'm saying, this is the way I live my life, this is the way I have found freedom. But if you feel like, well, no, I need to be all structured and I need to have everything planned, and I need to have a 10-year plan and a 100-year plan and a plan that goes beyond my life, then do that. But there might be a time in your life where you might think to yourself, hang on a sec, the only time I'm going to be free is when my plan is to be in this moment. Because the only true freedom we have is this present moment. The future is not real, it's an illusion. The past is not real, it's an illusion, because the past happened in the present moment and the future will happen in the present moment. So the only thing that you truly have is this present moment. So you can try to plan, but it's really up to the individual. I wouldn't tell someone to do something, but you may resonate with what I'm saying, and if you resonate with it, then you may want to look into what it's like to live in that flow.
Okay, so if people want to come and see you or talk to you or go to your seminars, what's your seminar called?
The Quest for Truth Experience.
And where do you do them?
Currently I do them in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, and sometimes in the US.
Okay, and where can they find you?
Website, it's www.befreeevents.com. That's BEFREE events.com.
Okay, have you got any last messages that you could, something intuitive that either for us or for the people who will be watching this?
Yeah, live in your moment and not for the moment.
All right, thanks, mate. Good to see you as always.
Yeah, pleasure. Good luck with your trip. I know you guys will do awesome.